The only exception, the powerful figure who controlled song Hye-kyo. Imagine a filmmaker whose gaze pierces the soul like a neon-lit shadow in the midnight rain, turning ordinary moments into eternal heartaches that linger long after the credits roll. Wong Kar-wai, that enigmatic maestro of melancholy, stands tall among the pantheon of Chinese-language visionaries, rivaled only by the poetic depths of Ang Lee, the epic sweeps of Zhang Yimou, and the introspective whispers of Hou Hsiao-hsien, as one whose celluloid dreams have reshaped how we see love's quiet unraveling. Yet, beneath the allure of his shimmering frames lies a reputation as formidable as it is revered, a perfectionism so unrelenting that it has forged cinematic gold from the raw ore of human exhaustion. Even as whispers of controversy swirl around leaked recordings where his sharp tongue dissects colleagues with the precision of a scalpel, Wong's global sway remains unshakable. His films a siren call to artists worldwide who know the price of immortality on screen. His influence stretches like the long, languid shots in his masterpieces, touching directors from Sofia Coppola to Barry Jenkins, who have borrowed his hazy glow to illuminate their own tales of fleeting connections. But to step into Wong's world as an actor is to enter a labyrinth where time bends and emotions fracture, a process so demanding that it borders on the mythic. Stars from the glittering constellations of China, Japan, and South Korea, icons who command arenas and adoring masses, have emerged from his sets not just transformed but tempered, their performances etched with a vulnerability that feels almost stolen from their very bones. It's a collaboration that evokes a strange alchemy, the director's unyielding pursuit of authenticity clashing against the fragility of the human spirit, yielding art that hums with unspoken longing. One can't help but feel a pang of awe mixed with unease at the thought. How does one capture the ephemeral, the half-glimpsed truth of a heartbeat without breaking the vessel that holds it? Consider Tony Leung Chiu-wai, that chameleonic force whose eyes alone can convey the weight of unspoken regrets, a frequent muse for Wong since their early days in the humid haze of Hong Kong's underbelly. In crafting the exquisite ache of In the Mood for Love, Leung found himself ensnared in a ritual of repetition that tested the limits of endurance, biting into a ripe pear, over and over. A simple act ballooning into 27 takes as Wong chased the precise flicker of restrained desire in his jawline, the subtle quiver of unspoken yearning. What might have been a momentary prop became a meditation on patience, Leung later reflecting on how each crunch echoed the film's core tension, love's fruit, forever just out of reach. It's a scene that now pulses with an intimacy that's almost voyeuristic, drawing viewers into the slow burn of what could have been. And one senses in Leung's delivery a quiet triumph, the kind born from nights where doubt creeps in like fog off Victoria Harbor. Yet, for all the drain, there's a profound reward. Leung's portrayal earned him a Best Actor crown at Cannes, a testament to how Wong's torment transmutes into transcendence, leaving actors like him not scarred, but sculpted into legends. This relentless honing extends to the very bones of his method, where scripts are mere sketches, abandoned for the thrill of improvisation under the relentless click of the camera. Wong films the same glance, the same hesitant step, dozens, sometimes hundreds of times, not for technical flawlessness, but to ensnare that elusive spark, the raw nerve of emotion that scripted words can only approximate. Actors speak of it with a mix of reverence and rueful laughter, the emotional toll of bearing one's soul repeatedly, layer after layer peeled away until exhaustion reveals something pure, unadorned. Jackie Chung, the velvet-voiced king of cantopop whose charisma lights up stadiums, encountered this crucible early in Wong's debut as Tears Go By, a gritty descent into gangster loyalty and lost innocence, set against the neon pulse of 1980s Kowloon. For a single shot, a subtle lift of the head conveying dawning realization, Chung repeated the motion 60 times, each iteration chipping at his confidence until he wondered if his vaunted talent had deserted him entirely. The isolation of those moments, under the unblinking eye of the lens, must have felt like staring into an abyss that stared back, questioning not just the performance, but the performer. Yet, emerging from that haze, Chung found his work infused with a gritty authenticity that elevated the film from genre trope to poignant elegy. A reminder that Wong's chaos births clarity, turning personal peril into public poetry. Across borders, this intensity has claimed other luminaries as unwitting pilgrims. Maggie Cheung, with her porcelain grace and steely resolve, poured months into In the Mood for Love, her chi-pao-clad form gliding through corridors of suppressed passion in 1960s Hong Kong, only to face endless retakes that blurred the line between character and self. Each reshot whisper, each adjusted fold of silk, layered the film's exquisite tension. But at what cost? Chung has hinted at the quiet unraveling, the way those prolonged nights fostered a bond with Leung that mirrored their on-screen restraint. Profound, yet painfully withheld. It's heartbreaking to imagine her, a woman who embodies effortless poise, wrestling with the vulnerability Wong demands, emerging with a performance so luminous it snagged her a Hong Kong Film Award and cemented her as cinema's unspoken queen. One feels a swell of admiration for her resilience, a quiet fury at the exploitation masked as artistry, and ultimately, gratitude for the masterpiece that resulted. A film where every frame drips with the perfume of what-ifs. Zhang Yimou, the whirlwind talent whose balletic fury lit up Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, fared no better in the labyrinthine dreamscape of 2046, Wong's kaleidoscopic sequel to In the Mood for Love, where time loops like a faulty memory reel. Playing a character adrift in a futuristic hotel of regrets, Yimou endured sleepless nights of constant refilming, her delicate features strained by the director's quest for the perfect shade of longing. The production, already notorious for its protracted shoot, spilling over years as Wong refined his vision, left her navigating a fog of fatigue, where each dawn brought fresh demands on her emotional reserves. There's a visceral empathy in picturing her, far from the wuxia epics that showcased her physical prowess, now bearing the softer fractures of the heart. It must have felt like dancing on a tightrope strung over an emotional chasm. Yet, her portrayal gleams with a fragile intensity that anchors the film's mosaic of lost loves, earning whispers of Oscar buzz, and proving once more that Wong's gauntlet forges diamonds from dust. Even Japan's unassailable idol, Kimura Takuya, SMAP's magnetic frontman, whose boyish charm has captivated generations, stumbled into this storm during 2046. As a salaryman trapped in a train to nowhere, a metaphor for stalled desires, Kimura faced the same Sisyphean trials. Scenes dissected and redone until the boundary between actor and role dissolved. Accustomed to the idol world's polished efficiency, he grappled with Wong's freewheeling ethos, where schedules dissolved like smoke and intuition reigned supreme. Reports murmur of his quiet frustration, the cultural chasm widening under the pressure. Yet there's a poetic justice in how his grounded presence pierced the film's ethereal haze, adding a layer of relatable ache to its sci-fi reverie. One can't suppress a twinge of sorrow for the man who rules pop pantheons, reduced to raw iteration, but also a nod to his growth, emerging with a performance that bridged East Asian cinemas, his subtle restraint a counterpoint to the ensemble's fevered dreams. These tales ripple through the industry like aftershocks, with many Asian stars confiding in hushed tones that working with Wong is akin to a sacred ordeal, an honor that elevates the soul even as it shatters the ego. Confidence crumbles under the weight of perpetual scrutiny, only to rebuild, stronger, laced with the wisdom of extremes plumbed. It's a paradox that tugs at the heart. The push to emotional precipices where tears flow unbidden, vulnerability exposed like an open wound, yet yielding performances that resonate with universal truths. Several, from Leung to Chung, have spoken of developing a fierce respect for his obsession, frustration melting into fondness as they witness the alchemy. Hours of anguish distilled into minutes of magic that redefine their legacies. In quiet interviews, they describe a strange catharsis, the kind that lingers like cigarette smoke in a rain-slicked alley, reminding us that true art often demands the artist's blood. Wong's projects, true to this ethos, sprawl across calendars like vines overtaking a forgotten garden, routinely eclipsing standard timelines by years. The Grandmaster, his lavish biopic of Ip Man weaving martial grace with the turbulence of 20th century China, exemplifies this temporal sprawl. Its shoot ballooning into a 3-year odyssey that ensnared South Korea's Hye-kyo in its coils. Entrusted with a pivotal role as a fierce Gong-er counterpart, she surrendered her passport. Rumors swirl of Wong's team safeguarding it to stem her flight back to Seoul, committing to a grueling regimen that left her physically spent and spiritually adrift. Emerging with mere minutes of screen time, her elegant ferocity glimpsed in fleeting flashes amid Tony Leung's stoic mastery. Song's disappointment echoed among fans like a muffled sob. Her limited presence, a stark emblem of Wong's ruthless edit. The betrayal stings in retrospect. That cascade of effort reduced to whispers. Yet her professionalism shines as a beacon, enduring feverish days of choreography and cold nights of introspection, only to gift the world a film that clinched multiple Hong Kong Film Awards. It's a story that evokes a cocktail of outrage and intrigue. How can such dominion over dreams border on tyranny, yet birth a visual poem where every kick and glance pulses with historical heartbeat? Song Saga underscores the double-edged sword of Wong's vision, where actors become vessels for fleeting truths. Their sacrifice is the unseen scaffolding of cinematic splendor. This editorial blade cuts deep and without mercy, as evidenced by the fates of Joey Wong and Rosamund Kwan in the desert mirages of Ashes of Time. Wong's martial wuxia fever dream reimagined through a lens of fractured memories and poisoned loves. Both sirens of 1990s Hong Kong cinema, Joey with her ethereal allure evoking ancient fox spirits, Rosamund with her regal poise commanding screens from rouge to royal epics, invested months in scenes lush with intrigue and longing, only to watch their footage evaporate in the final cut. Humiliation simmers beneath their silence, a polite veil over the ache of erasure, yet they held their tongues out of deference to the genius who wields chaos like a brush. Whispers paint Wong as a genius who tortures artists, his unpredictable shears leaving performers in limbo, uncertain if their sweat-soaked labors will grace the silver dream or dissolve into ether. The unpredictability gnaws, a performer's nightmare where effort evaporates like desert dew. Yet it fosters a peculiar loyalty. Many return, drawn by the promise of recognition in his rarefied air. One feels a quiet ache for these women, their vanished moments a metaphor for the film's own themes of lost time, but also a swell of respect for their grace under erasure, contributing to a work that, in its redux incarnation, redefined the genre with hallucinatory beauty. Indeed, for all the torment, Wong's oeuvre endures as a constellation of classics, each slow-forged gem radiating his signature alchemy. Slow-motion sighs that stretch seconds into eternities, neon veins threading urban nights, and silences heavy with the weight of unsaid farewells. From the humid pulse of Chungking Express, where expired pineapples symbolize love's shelf life amid copper's nocturnal wanderings, to the Baroque longings of fallen angels, his aesthetic has etched loneliness into the lexicon of cinema. redefining Asian storytelling with a moody introspection that rivals the French New Wave's poetic drift. Critics, even those scarred by his barbs in leaked tapes, concede his mastery. The way he conjures mood from mise-en-scène, turning alienation into aching allure. It's impossible not to be swept up in the romance of it. That bittersweet thrill of frames where characters brush past one another like ghosts in the rain. Their solitude a mirror to our own hidden fractures. Amid this parade of victims, one figure stands defiant, a comet blazing against Wong's gravitational pull. Faye Wong, the heavenly queen of cantopop, whose voice weaves spells over Hong Kong's skyline. With her gamine pixie cut and unyielding spirit, forged in the fires of stardom that saw her conquer charts with ethereal covers of Western anthems, she alone refused to bend to his whims during Chungking Express. Accustomed to commanding her domain, Faye laid down her terms with the calm of a summer storm. One take per scene, no endless replays, her natural essence too wild to cage in repetition. The crew, habituated to Wong's dominion, gaped in stunned silence as she held firm, her independence a jolt that rippled through the set like a skipped heartbeat. There's a delicious schadenfreude in envisioning it, the diva drawing a line in the sand, transforming potential clash into creative spark, her refusal, not rebellion, but reclamation of self. Far from resentment, Wong found in her a kindred authenticity, praising her as a force of nature. She only needs to stand there. That's acting, he marveled, acknowledging that any missed magic lay with the camera, not her fleeting grace. This mutual reverence bloomed into a quartet of collaborations, from her wistful barmaid in Chungking, humming dreams as she reshapes a cop's world, to the spectral muse of 2046, where her presence haunts like a half-remembered melody. He even helmed a short film for her concert, a tender vignette capturing her stage sorcery in Faye Wong's 2001 concert. Faye's iconicity endures because of this synergy, her untamed aura amplifying Wong's poetry, their films portals to a Hong Kong where pop idols philosophize on expiry dates and parallel lives. She's the outlier who resisted yet earned his deepest esteem, a reminder that true collaboration thrives on equals, not subjugation. One watches her scenes with a grin of vindication, her effortless glow a balm against the grind that claims so many. Echoes of this extremity persist in Wong's latest ventures, like the opulent nostalgia of Blossom's Shanghai, a 2023 series adaptation of Jin Yu Chung's novel that drapes 1990s Pudong in velvet decadence, chronicling a hustler's odyssey amid reform-era glitz. Here, Hye-kyo, fresh from Nirvana in Fire's scheming depths, navigates Wong's demands with the poise of a survivor, while Tong Yen, his luminous co-star known for Ode to Joy's urban grit, endured 86 reshoots for a single pivotal scene, her frustration immortalized in those now leaked recordings where Wong dissects her fakeness with clinical candor. The barbs sting, revealing the interpersonal fissures beneath his artistic armor, yet the series blooms with his hallmarks, crooner soundtracks evoking Teresa Tung's honeyed ache, frames saturated in amber hour light, characters adrift in a city remaking itself. Hu and Tong emerge battle-tested, their chemistry a fragile thread weaving through tales of ambition and amorous detours, the pain of iteration lending their portrayals an undercurrent of lived truth. In the end, Wong Kar-wai's legacy unfurls as this grand, thorny paradox, a director whose punishing forge elevates the fleeting to the forever, embedding actors' agonies into the very DNA of his art. His films, Days of Being Wild's Humid Ennui, Happy Together's Buenos Aires Exile, the handmaiden-esque twists reimagined through his lens, garner Palme d'Or nods, Golden Lion roars, and endless festival ovations, their influence seeping into global pop culture like ink in water. From the way Chungking Express inspired Amelie's whimsical loneliness to In the Mood for Love's Chi-Pao silhouette echoing in fashion runways, Wong has alchemized personal obsessions into a universal grammar of desire. And though his methods may shatter confidences, leaving trails of weary warriors in their wake, the survivors, and even the silenced, carry forward a quiet pride. Their contributions to his canon, a badge of having touched the sublime. It's a legacy that tugs at the soul, evoking not just admiration for the beauty wrought, but a profound aching empathy for the human cost, the lonely nights, the repeated breaths, the loves left half-spoken. In Wong's world, perfection isn't polished. It's the bruise beneath the skin, the echo of a sigh in the dark, reminding us that the most unforgettable stories are born from the brink.